Hello everyone and welcome to the Dream Team Professor podcast. My name is Scott and in this episode we're going to be looking at all of the top point scorers and key talking points from the weekend's action on Sun Dream Team. Now we're going to start off with Liverpool 1, Manchester City 1. Key team news before the game was Mohamed Salah and Robertson both benched, both in my squad, but I did sort of know that the Salah one could have been a risk. So Salah and Robertson benched. Diaz was benched for Man City, which is a surprise. He's usually included for the bigger games. And then you had Alvarez starting on that left-hand side again, while Doku's sort of still coming back from injury. You got Grealish out. Doku did come on later in the game, but I just thought it was interesting that Alvarez is back starting. Now he's sort of taken that left-hand side role. Stones grabbed the first goal of the game, 9 points and a bonus point. 1 goal, 1 assist for the season. So not smashing it for attacking returns, but we've seen him do this before. The points for the defence, though, at Man City were pretty low. Ake got 4 points with a tackle. You had Akanji with 3 points, although he did get 7 player performance marks. So it was only 1 mark off getting 3 bonus points. You had KDB, who was the most transferred out player this week in the top 1K, getting his 13th assist of the season for that Stones goal. He's only played 13 matches, so an assist pretty much every game, and he also has 2 goals this season. So big game Kev strikes again, although wasn't very happy to be taken off in the 69th minute. You had Foden, Haaland and Rodri, 3 sort of popular players on the game, all blanked. Haaland 3 points, Foden 3 points, although Foden was 1 player performance marks off a bonus point as well, and then Rodri picking up a yellow card. Ederson gave away a penalty for the Liverpool goal, absolutely wiping out Darwin Núñez. So Darwin Núñez got the assist for it. Ederson got booked, couldn't save the penalty, and then had to also go off injured to look like he took quite a heavy knock there. Pep has said it didn't look good on the injury front. One thing I would say though is if you have got Ederson currently in your team, obviously you might want to transfer him out. But you were probably expecting that he wasn't going to play in the FA Cup game next week anyway. And then after that, you've got international break and then the Arsenal game. So you could always wait it out and see what happens if you didn't want to use a goalkeeper transfer yet. But 0 points for him in this one. Kelleher, on the other hand, in goal for Liverpool. 4 points, 5 saves. And he's just been smashing it for save points ever since Alisson sort of went out injured. He's averaged 4.3 saves a game since Alisson has been out injured. So really doing quite well for these save points. Alexis McAllister took the penalty for Liverpool. Got 12 points, 4 tackles, 1 bonus and 2 shots on target. So points in a variety of different ways there for McAllister. And he's been really, really good lately. 2 goals, 2 assists in his last 3. Obviously has been taking penalties while Salah has been out though. 4 goals, 6 assists for the season. Darwin Núñez, 5 points, obviously those assist points and a shot on target. Van Dijk and Bradley probably did the best out of the defence, 5 points each. And then Salah and Robertson came on in the 61st minute. Robertson had a big chance created, and I did think that Salah was going to end up with a penalty after that Doku high boot. I think that was on McAllister. I did sort of think last minute, I thought maybe I'm going to clinch something from Salah in this game, but it wasn't to be. Mohamed Salah was the second most transferred player in this game week with 26.8% of the top 1K bringing him in. But overall, a fairly low scoring game for the big names in the Liverpool Man City teams. Arsenal 2, Brentford 1. Kai Havertz scores again, 4 goals and 2 assists in his last 5 matches. He scored in 4 Premier League matches in a row. The only game he didn't score in was that last match against Porto. But maybe he can redeem himself in midweek. 3.3 million he'll cost you in midfield, and he's on 9 goals, 5 assists for the season, playing as that striker for Arsenal at the minute, keeping Gabriel Jesus out of the team. A really good performance from him again. Some people saying, including Thomas Frank, that maybe he should have been sent off. He was already on a yellow, and he took what looked to be a little bit of a dive. But there was plenty of decisions that didn't go Arsenal's way in this game. So happy to see him stay on the pitch. Ramsdale, obviously in goal because David Raya couldn't play against his parent club. And he's cost us all the clean sheet points. an absolute howler from Ramsdale. Yeah, not good to see. Gabriel was the most transferred in player this game week, with 35 of the top 1k bringing him in, including myself. And yeah, we were left disappointed by just missing out on those clean sheet points because of that howler. Ben White, though, was the Arsenal defender that came off the best. He grabbed 2 assists in this game. That's 2 goals, 5 assists for the season, and he's the 5th highest defender in the game now. And he's playing a more attacking role now that Kivior's playing at left back. However, Zinchenko was on the bench and came on in the second half, so he's back from injury now. Depending on, I think Kivior should keep his place, but if Zinchenko does come in, Zinchenko will be the guy that joins the midfield, and Ben White will probably go back to playing a little bit deeper than he has been. So Zinchenko back available. You also had Thomas Partey back available after being out a long time. Ødegaard blanked in this game, just the 2 points for him. And then Saka was a popular captaincy pick this week, the most popular captaincy pick. And he just finished with just the 3 points, 1 bonus point for him. Saliba at the back, the most popular Arsenal defender, just the 3 points as well. Ivan Toney, 4 points, 4 matches without a goal now, but did have a decent shot from long range. Declan Rice has been incredible. 8 points, 6 goals, 6 assists for the season. And with Jorginho sort of playing in that holding or deeper role, it's allowed Declan Rice to get forward a lot more, and we're seeing him chipping with these attacking returns a lot more regularly now. So Declan Rice and Havertz, 2 new signings, doing the business for Arsenal. West Ham 2, Burnley 2, and Burnley went 2-0 up, which was a big surprise. A lot of action transferring in West Ham players this week, and mixed results. So West Ham, last clean sheet came 12 games ago, so if you brought in any West Ham defenders, you wouldn't have been too happy with that. Sofal was bought in by 5% of the top 1k, but only managed 2 points. I think Emerson probably would have been a lot more popular if he wasn't missing through injury. Paqueta has been the sort of glue that's got the West Ham attackers firing again, both Kudus and Bowen. But he was chipping in himself with the goals yesterday. So 11 points, a goal, bonus point, 2 shots on target, tackle points, and a big chance created. So Paqueta, 11 points. Bowen was the 3rd most transferred in player. 84% owned in the top 1k now. So if you didn't have him, like me, that would have been pretty damaging if he had delivered. But he did just get the 3 points in this match. So quiet one for Bowen. This one might annoy you. So Kudus, 14% owned in the top 1k. Very popular pick this week. Brought in by quite a few managers. 9 points he was on yesterday for an assist. Missing a big chance. You don't get points for that, but he missed a big chance. 5 bonus points, 14 player performance marks in total, which would have put him on 9 goals, 7 assists for the season. However, Kudus owners would have woken up to see that he's actually only been given 7 points instead of the 9 points that you'll see on screen when I made these slides last night. He has been docked that assist. It did touch a defender on the way through, so it has been removed as an assist. I mean, this happened last week when Arsenal played Sheffield United. Declan Rice cut a ball back across the box, slightly touched the defender, went to Havertz, Havertz scored it. Oh no, Ødegaard scored it. And I thought that should have been a Rice assist, but he wasn't given it for this same reason. So consistent in that part. But then you've got, like earlier in the season, it was only a few weeks ago that Kyle Walker had a shot from long range. It rebounded off a defender, came to Rodri. It was in the Chelsea game, and then Rodri scored it, and Rodri gets the assist. And I think Rodri gets the assist because Kyle Walker's was a shot at the goal that rebounded. Kudus meant that cross more than Kyle Walker meant for Rodri to get that ball. So it just doesn't quite make sense to me. So yeah, I'd be a bit annoyed if I was a Kudus owner in this situation. He has 44 bonus points from 32 matches, and he's a really good asset to have, but you would be disappointed with that. Ings came off the bench with a disallowed goal, but then he got the equaliser. So an unlikely hero in this game, and he even hit the crossbar late on. So Danny Ings off the bench, decent, but probably not an asset for us to consider at any point. James Ward-Prowse, I've got a lot of West Ham friends, and apparently he was really, really poor in the game. Reflected with his points, just a one. Dragged at half-time, along with Calvin Phillips. Edson Alvarez was rested, but came on at half-time. Aston Villa 0, Spurs 4. Surprising one. I thought there would probably be about 4 goals from Spurs or 3 goals from Spurs, but I thought Villa probably would have got quite a few themselves as well. Spurs clean sheet I did not expect. So Romero, Udogie, Porro, all hitting double figures. Romero had 11 points with 3 bonus. Porro had 10 points with just the 1 bonus, 4 tackles. And then Udogie, massive 10 player performance marks, got him 3 bonus points, and he got 2 tackles as well. Porro not quite reaching the same bonus points as he was earlier in the season. Van der Ven, if you had him, I can't imagine you do, but he finished up with just the 2 points because he was subbed in the 49th minute, which would have been disappointing. James Maddison, 9 points, a goal, bonus points, 4 goals, 9 assists for the season. And then Son, in really, really good form at the minute, 16 points, a goal, 2 assists, and that puts him on 14 goals, 8 assists for the season. And I'm paying attention to Son at the minute because obviously we're usually targeting these European players at the moment, but there is a short spell of next week where some teams have Premier League, some teams blank, and some teams have FA Cup. Spurs have a Premier League game against Fulham, and the week after, game week 29, is a Premier League double game week. So Spurs will have a double that week. So across the next 2 weeks, they're not down on fixtures because of Europe. And they do look good. So it's Fulham, Luton, West Ham. I think that could be a nice 2-week punt for Son. Or if you fancy another Spurs player. I probably still wouldn't trust the defence, but I really do like the look of Son at the minute. Johnson, 9 points. Goal, but he's a striker on the game, playing sort of as a winger or in midfield, so not really appealing. Kudus got an assist, 6 goals, 3 assists for the season. On to Villa though. Villa were disappointing overall. Watkins, 2 games running now without a shot on target. 2 points in this game, 2 points in the game against Ajax last week. Hopefully he can start to find some form, or I've broken him since bringing him back in. John McGinn, red card. I didn't think it was a red. It was a nasty challenge. It was filthy. But I still don't think it should have been a red, to be honest with you. Let me know what you think. Douglas Luiz, bonus and tackle points, but still quiet one. Moreno, he's been benched 2 games in a row after having quite a good spell of starting. Digne started this one. And then Konsa, obviously sent off in midweek, but still can play Premier League. That's 3 matches in a row he's been back and not got bonus points, which he's been a bit of a bonus points monster throughout the season, but maybe something, we'll have to look a bit closer, but maybe something's changed and he's not doing as well for bonus. 4 player performance marks, so he wasn't far off. But yeah, he was hitting sort of 1s and 3s quite regularly throughout. Martinez, just the 1 save in this game. If you're enjoying the video so far, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And subscribe to the Dream Team Tonic podcast. We'll be podcasting later this evening to our Patreon members. That will go out later in the week for everyone on YouTube and podcast platforms. Join the community. There's a link in the description below. Brighton 1, Forest 1. Pascal Gross. Glad that I stuck with him. 8 points. Had been a little bit quiet last week. He got a benching in the last Prem game. Quiet one in midweek, but he grabbed an assist, got 3 bonus points and tackle points in this one, 8 points. He was the 6th most transferred out player last week, likely due to that blank and Brighton's questionable form, but done well in this one. Another set piece assist, leading to an own goal. A rare Brighton clean sheet. Verbruggen in goal this time. He loves to chop and change his keepers. You had Van Heck, got 7, Veltman got 7, and Dunk got 7. And my man Estupinian with the 8 points, with 2 tackles. Of course, he started 3 of the last 4 matches. Maybe back in favour. maybe back in favour since I took him out. Although Lamptey, I think Lamptey played in midweek and then was needed a rest for this one. So maybe it's not as good as it seems. But yeah, quite funny that Stupinian is back starting games since I've taken him out. Yeah, that's it really. Good points for the defence, but I still wouldn't be drawn into trusting Brighton at the moment. Man United 2, Everton 0. And I saw them named Penchester United on Twitter. That was trending at some point over the weekend, so that made me laugh. 2 penalty goals for them. Both of them won by Garnacho, who looked like he had a really good game watching that back on Match of the Day. 7 points, 5 player performance marks, got him 1 bonus. Really, really lively game from him. Bruno Fernandes scored the first goal from the penalty spot. 10 points, 3 shots on target, and he's quietly going under the radar now. 41 points in his last 4 game weeks. That puts him on more points than Saka, Bowen, Pascal Gross, and Kevin De Bruyne over the last 4 game weeks. I bet you weren't expecting that. So 8 goals, 10 assists for the season. Been a bit of a troll this season. Rashford, he was given the second penalty. So again, if you did have Bruno, you would have been so frustrated about that. I don't know why. It just seems so prevalent this season that people keep giving the penalties to someone else. Rashford scored it anyway, so 9 points. But yeah, annoying if you had Bruno. United clean sheet. It's their 12th in all competitions, 8th in the Premier League, and they're on the 3rd most clean sheets, tied with City, Newcastle and Everton in the Premier League. Onana still top of the goalkeeper charts, 10 points, 6 saves in this game, so always busy. Dalot, I wanted to mention Dalot. So just the 9 points. I mean, he got outscored by Lindelof. Varane was on 8. Evans was on 10 for this game. But the reason I like Dalot, 13 starts in a row. In 12 of those starts, he got 90 minutes. And he's the 6th highest scoring defender in the game now. So despite Man United not having European football, Dalot is right up there. 90-minute man. And maybe if you were looking at playing your part the bus or something soon, Dalot could be one that you could consider. And before you think I'm on the wind up, Dalot was in my part of the bus earlier in the season, scored an absolute screamer. And the reason I like him is because he gets bonus points. He plays 90 minutes most of the time, starts 2 games a week most of the time, and he can chip in with these attacking returns. He's had a shot on target in this game. Really just solid pick, to be honest with you. You might not think that Manchester United have the best defence, but they do okay for clean sheets as well from time to time. So maybe someone to consider if you're worried that someone's not going to play 2 lots of 90 minutes and you just want to focus on making sure you get some points on the board. That game week 29 double, it's not the worst looking, but it is sandwiched between 2 Liverpool fixtures. So it's a decent double in game week 29, but I think there's 2 Liverpool home fixtures in 28 and 30. Bournemouth versus Sheffield United, and the trolling didn't end. Solanke, 4th most transferred in player in Dream Team this week. I'm not sure if that includes 12th man. There was a lot of 12th man Solanke about. 3rd most captained. 13% of the top 1k brought him in. He won a pen. It was looking so good early on. He won the pen himself. Stepped up to take it. Slipped and skied it over the bar. Horrible. And I'm not taking a mick. I had him in pretty much every other fantasy format. You just got to laugh at times like that. And then it looked like redemption was on. He scored after a defender tried to clear the ball and kicked it sort of into his lower arm. But of course, if the ball hits your arm or hand in the build-up to a goal, it counts. It's handball. It counts as handball. So VAR disallowed it. It looked so unfortunate. If you did go for Solanke, you were really unlucky, I think, in this game. But you still do have one more game to get it done. But minus 3 points for that penalty slip puts him on 0 points for this Sheffield United game. So I feel like you were unlucky. I think you can have a bit of confidence in that second fixture. He looked like he done all right. And Neto made 7 saves, got 4 points. not really a great performance from him. Utara came on at half-time, grabbed a goal and an assist, 11 points, and Christie got an assist, 11 points, 3 bonus, 3 big chances created. I'll have a video coming out later in the week, top players to target for game week 28. Thanks, see you on the next one, goodbye.